This couple gave up their life in the city. They moved back to the small mountain village where the husband grew up. His wife, Michiko, had been a doctor with a high income, but she had to sign death certificates day after day. The relentless mental and physical toll caused her to miscarry. She developed panic disorder as a result. In the packed crowds of the subway, she would struggle to breathe. Her husband, Takao, had once been a well-known novelist, but for years, the ideas had completely dried up. He had not published anything new in a decade. Both of them were on the verge of a breakdown, so they decided to return to Takao's hometown to recover. Compared to the city, the village brought them a sense of calm. One day they wandered into a small temple without really thinking about it. There they met an elderly woman named Uemi. Uemi had been a close friend of Takao's grandmother. She brewed them a pot of tea. The three of them sat together, chatting over their cups. They quietly took in the mountain scenery stretching out in the distance. That kind of life felt right to them. When the villagers heard that Michiko was a doctor, they were thrilled. They hoped she would be willing to work at the local clinic. The village had been without a qualified doctor for a long time. Michiko eventually said yes. Even though her health was still fragile, she agreed to work 3 mornings a week. The villagers were overjoyed. They threw a welcome party for the couple. They brought flowers and arranged for the two of them to visit a hot spring. When they finally sank into the water, Michiko slowly began to let go. A look of ease crossed her face for the first time in a long while. Michiko had been relying on sleeping pills just to get through the night. That evening the two of them lay in bed talking. Through the window came the sound of running water. It settled something inside them. With that gentle sound in the background, they drifted off to sleep. At first light, Takao had breakfast ready. It was simple, but Michiko ate every bite and felt genuinely satisfied. Michiko crossed paths with the neighbors around the village. Everyone greeted her warmly. The clinic had not even opened for the day yet, but a long line of elderly patients was already waiting outside. The clinic was constantly filled with elderly patients. They complained that their children had moved away and never visited. Between appointments, Michiko would chat with them for a few minutes, making them feel a little less alone. Meanwhile, Takao received a copy of the local village newsletter. The person who delivered it explained that the village had no one to distribute the paper. He hoped Takao would be willing to take on the job. Takao agreed. When he flipped through the newsletter, he discovered a column written by Granny Uemi. After the couple finished reading her column, they realized that people could actually live this way. They decided to pay her a visit. When they arrived at Granny Uemi's house, she was in the middle of a nap. Her living conditions were modest, but the space felt calm and comfortable. They waited for her to wake up. Once she did, Michiko checked her blood pressure. Everything seemed fine. Michiko asked why her blood pressure had been elevated the year before. Granny Uemi explained that she had been trying to dig a toilet pit. Halfway through the job, she started feeling unwell. Takao offered to finish digging the toilet for her. On the way home, the two of them walked through a lush green forest. Michiko's mood had lifted noticeably. She stopped and leaned against a large tree, taking in the natural surroundings. After they emerged from the forest, they ran into a group of kids running around and playing. Michiko could not help herself and ran over to join them. For a moment, she felt like a child again, with nothing in her heart but ease and joy. It was not until the sun began to set that she walked back to the village with the children. She waved goodbye as they split off toward their homes. While Takao was working on the toilet for Granny Uemi, he met a girl named Sayuri. Sayuri had lost the ability to speak after an accident. She often visited Granny Uemi's house, writing down everything the old woman said and publishing it in the village newsletter. When Sayuri learned that Takao was a writer, her eyes lit up with admiration. Takao, on the other hand, felt a wave of shame. One day Michiko and her husband Takao head to a stream to go fishing. They spend half a day and only catch one small fish, but Michiko is genuinely happy about it. Back home she grills the fish. She also soaks it in sake and turns it into a special dish. It tastes incredible. That night Michiko falls asleep quickly. It is the first time she has ever fallen asleep without sleeping pills. The next day Takao checks the blood pressure of a village elder named Grandma Uemi. He asks her if she ever had trouble sleeping. She nods and says yes. She tells Takao her secret to falling asleep. Whenever she cannot sleep she listens to the sound of the stream outside her window. She just follows the sound of the water and slowly drifts off. Michiko sits quietly nearby taking it all in. She suddenly realizes she has not taken a sleeping pill in a very long time. Michiko says that coming to this village has made her truly happy. She thanks Takao for bringing her here. Her voice is soft and gentle. That night the sound of the stream and frogs drifts in through the window. Michiko lies in bed and feels a deep sense of calm wash over her. The Obon festival arrives. It is a traditional Japanese holiday to honor the spirits of ancestors. Everyone in the village comes home to pay respects to their loved ones who have passed. They sit together in the temple and pray in silence. Afterward they set lanterns afloat on the river. It is their way of sending blessings to those who are gone. When the festival ends the young people have to leave the village again. They will not be back until next year. Takao and Michiko have now been living in the village for 6 months. Around this time a villager named Sayuri takes a turn for the worse. The village has very limited medical resources. She needs to go to a hospital in the city for proper treatment. Sayuri gets transferred to a large hospital in the city. That hospital reaches out and asks Michiko to come back to work. Michiko is torn when she hears this. She is afraid of slipping back into the anxious state she was in before, because she once treated patients with similar conditions at that hospital, and she was not able to save them. Takao sees her hesitation and doubt. He encourages Michiko to go help Sayuri. With her husband's support, Michiko finally decides to go back to the hospital. Grandma Yuami is also deeply worried about Sayuri. Michiko's former colleague Dr. Nakamura cannot wrap his head around it. He asks Michiko why she ever left the hospital to go practice medicine in some remote mountain village. Michiko does not answer him. Takao brings a tape recorder to visit Grandma Yuami. He wants to record her voice so Sayuri can hear it from the hospital. Grandma Yuami just keeps praying for Sayuri to get better soon. Sayuri's surgery finally gets scheduled, but the procedure does not go smoothly. After the surgery, Sayuri's condition is still critical.